punishing America. That's the focus of tonight's angle. All right, Democrats want you to believe that they're resisting President Trump because they're fighting for the little guy.
No, I'm not going to just sit back while he's, literally turning this country into a dictatorial regime.
Literally. Does he know how he sounds? Well, Governor Porkchop, sorry, no one's buying it. Do not believe for one moment that liberals protesting ICE, resisting ICE, or simply trying to protect migrants, they don't care about the plight of illegals any more than they care about the plight of African Americans in the inner city. By the way, 14 people were shot over the weekend in Chicago, 4 dead from gunshots. They simply use illegals, and frankly, they use minorities for, political power. And in case of illegal aliens, they use them for cheap labor as well. In fact, in many ways, think about it, it's open season on law-abiding Americans, courtesy of the Democrat Party. Every illegal alien that they harbor with their sanctuary policies is a threat and a drain on resources. Now you add in criminal justice reforms, things like pretrial release with cashless bail like they have in Illinois, and you're playing with people's lives. This is exactly what happened in the case of Leiter Jefferson Aruz Mendina from Nicaragua. He's accused of brutally raping a 54-year-old woman. According to DHS, he allegedly grabbed his victim by the hair, dragged her screaming across the street, forced her into an alleyway, threw her to the ground, strangled her, removed all of her clothes. The sounds of her screams were picked up by residents' private surveillance video. He repeatedly slammed the back of her head into the concrete, causing her to lose consciousness. Aruz Mendina was released into the United States by the Biden administration and shielded from deportation by whom? Porkchop Pritzker. There are hundreds, even thousands of stories like this across the country in states and cities run by rabid open borders activists. To them, American victims, including women raped, children trafficked, they're just inconvenient collateral damage. The goal seems to be blood in the streets.
Don't forget where you're standing. This is South Central Los Angeles. They are not the only ones with guns in this city. They're not the only ones, and don't forget that. And I don't say that because we're calling for violence. I'm saying that because the people have every right to defend themselves against masked, unidentified gunmen with AR-15s and other military rifles. The people have every right to defend themselves. That's not violent, that's intelligent.
They're not the only ones with guns. That's the key phrase here. Think about it. They wish to take up arms. They want you to take up arms, threatening those who put their lives on the line to protect us every single day. Well, that makes all Americans less safe. They don't want illegals who break our laws punished. Activists and elected officials alike want the rest of us punished, especially law enforcement. Now, in this next clip, listen for the word bricks as a Union de Barrio thug brags about what they did in L.A. against ICE.
That's why they went to Chicago and other places, because here the people are organized and resistance was strong. They caught some bricks. Y'all remember Paramount? They caught those bricks. This is Los Angeles and this is South Central. The people will fight back.
Now, this is an open call for rebellion against federal law enforcement, which is being replicated across America. Yesterday in New York, liberals decided to try to stop an ICE raid in Chinatown. Again, these people are pretending to care about street vendors. Oh, they're just street vendors trying to make a living. But both the purses they were selling and the people selling them were illegal. The illegal aliens were selling counterfeit goods, which is a federal crime, and they all had rap sheets. It was only a few weeks ago that our friend Nick Shirley encountered one of these nasty entitled criminals when he was walking down Canal Street.
We don't do no camera.
Hey,
Out of here with that.
we can be here on the street. This is public street.
Yo, get the this our block, you ass.
You
Get
the block?
Yeah. Yo, somebody spend this and take the camera away.
They act like they own the place, don't they? And why shouldn't they? For years, they've had the run of the streets. Even when arrested, they're quickly released to commit more crimes. They know this. Zero accountability. So why don't Democrats celebrate the arrest of criminals, right? They care about the little guy. Because their victims don't matter. Whether they're American businesses or citizens, the Democrats do not care. People like Gavin Newsom will never rush to a camera to warn illegal aliens to leave his state or else. But he'll always rush to a camera to warn our brave ICE agents.
I mean, if some guy jumped out of an unmarked car in a van with a mask on, tried to grab me, I mean, by definition, you're going to push back.
The words they're using, fight, push, resist, they're signaling very clearly that it's wartime. And Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson thinks he's a general.
There are cities across this country that are now creating ice-free zones, right? And so what we're doing is simply leading the only way Chicago knows how. Being on the front lines is something that we're very accustomed to, and it's going to take all of us to ensure that we dismantle tyranny in this country.
Johnson, dismantle tyranny. Ice-free zones are the answer. We're on the front lines. Okay, General. General idiot. Sure sounds like he's calling for an insurrection to me. And they're already promising their post-war tribunals.
When we win the majority and have the power to subpoena and have the power to get any document, have the ability to bring anyone forward to our committee, we are not just only going to hold Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller accountable for what they've done. Our message is clear. If you are out there and you are taking orders and committing these illegal actions, we are going to hold you accountable.
They're promising post-war tribunals. So they're now threatening ICE agents. What do they make, $100,000 a year if they're lucky, $80,000 a year if they're just starting? By the way, many of those ICE agents happen to be minorities themselves, Hispanics and African Americans. And what are they threatening, these Democrat officials? What are they threatening them with exactly? For violating what law? Carrying out legal orders in the execution of duly passed legislation that Congress passed? Legislation that, by the way, lays out very clearly who is and who is not a deportable alien. All those individuals on Canal Street are deportable aliens. And by the way, these activists, and then, of course, including politicians, threatening our ICE agents, impeding arrests, immigration raids, they all have to be charged and prosecuted before one American gets killed. The Democrats are desperate. They're lawless. But we are determined in defending law and order. And every time when you have good people in office, law and order will prevail. And that's the angle.
New York City's getting hit with an ice storm.
They are not the only ones with guns in this city.
What George did, I just thought, was a self-sabotaging act of disloyalty. When you use moments and then stab my dad in the back, I don't know why anyone would think that I have anything nice to say.
Hunter's got an enemies list, and everyone's on it.
I don't live my life to impress Jake Tapper.
They all ought to have their heads shaven. They should be put in orange pajamas. They should be marched down Pennsylvania Avenue, and the public should be invited to spit on them.
Democrats are spitting mad.
No Trump! No Trump! No King! No King!
Plus,
Sandy!
Tell me about it, Stud.
the Cajuns raging.
I think they all ought to have their heads shaven. They should be put in orange pajamas, and they should be marched down Pennsylvania Avenue, and the public should be invited to spit on them.
Carville wants to shave Stephen Miller's head squeaky clean. Joke's on him. Miller's already bald and he looks great in orange. We'll leave the razor with James. We know he shaves his chest. The Cajun has stage 5 TDS, and there's only a few known treatments. Read Get It Together, still available where books are sold. Self-deportation like Irish Rosie, and acoustic guitar therapy.
This is a song I wrote called Crazy World, which is how I cope.
Okay, let's hear it.
This crazy world's gone crazy. Who am I to judge? It's nice to know in a world full of hate, there's someone out there still making love.
Don't crash out, just make love. Or better yet, if you need something a little more exotic, Shri will serenade you with his big, beautiful bullhorn.
No Trump! No Trump! No kings! No kings! No kings! No kings!
Music and lovemaking aren't for everyone. Tampon's dealing with his TDS by playing a little putt-putt.
Republicans in Washington are making it even harder for folks. Now's the time for action.
Is Tampon allowed within 500 feet of a mini golf course? He better check with his PO. You know how Trump blows off steam? He builds things.
You can see the kind of interiors that we're talking about. That's an interior of the ballroom. And it's the highest level. And you see it goes beautifully with the White House. I mean, the mix is beautiful.
Hips is livid that Trump's running the government better than ever during the Schumer shutdown.
Donald Trump is once again preparing to fly out of the country. The East Wing of the White House is being demolished so that Donald Trump can construct a ballroom where he will be celebrated like a king.
There's no throne, Hips. It's just a ballroom where you shake your booty. Dime store Obama should remember the cross-legged Messiah was dying for a big, beautiful ballroom. He had to throw a state dinner in a tent like Gaddafi. It was so tacky, people crashed it. If the Obamas built a ballroom instead of a basketball court, they could have booked Stevie Wonder. Oprah and Stedman could have done the foxtrot, and the women's hair wouldn't have been all frizzed out from the humidity. But instead, Biden got the keys to the castle and got lost, and Kamala bankrupted the whole kingdom. The DNC's still behind on bills. They're still paying off Mamala's debt. Just last week, the DNC tried to throw a fundraiser in San Francisco with Harris as the headliner, and the donors were like, lose this number. One anonymous donor replied with a profanity-laced rejection. Nancy might not be around for long either. Democrats are throwing around the R word. Retired. Word is next month, she's making a big ol' announcement. The Pauly P portfolio had a good run, but good things come to an end. The saying usually goes, mo money, mo problems, but for Democrats, it's no money, more problems. Democrats are so strapped for cash, they won't even take a pay cut in solidarity with bureaucrats.
Some members are voluntarily not taking pay. Are you on board with that?
No.
Where's Bernie? Well, Burn Dog's actually trying to make a quick buck during the shutdown. He wrote a book called Fight Oligarchy. How many times have we heard that?
This democracy is evolving into an oligarchy. We are moving in the direction of oligarchy. This great country is evolving into an oligarchic society. The drift which currently exists toward an oligarchic form of society.
Fighting oligarchy has been Bernie's job for 30 years, and he's still fighting it. That means he hasn't done a very good job. You know who else is fighting a fake enemy for a quick buck? Binder.
We can't behave as if or react to situations per usual. These are unprecedented times. You have to lean in, you have to fight. And these are the things that everyday Americans are asking for. Where are the Democrats? Why are they not fighting?
Binder's DEI revenge tour is getting messy. She's demolishing the Democrat Party like it's the East Wing. Who do you call when you need help blowing stuff up? Hunter. Yesterday, Hunter said he wanted to bust Obama's lip. Now he wants a piece of Clooney.
But what George did, I just thought was a self-sabotaging act of disloyalty, not just to my dad, but to the whole party. That's my opinion, okay? And I think I have a right to be really upset about it.
Hunter's still fuming about the coup. And if he sees Tapper, he's going to snatch his glasses and stick them where the sun don't shine.
He says that I'm a scumbag and I'm a this and that and the other thing. And you know what? You can read my book about all my scumbaggery. I wrote all about it. And addiction is a really, really, really ugly thing. Divorces are really, really, really ugly things. I don't live my life to impress Jake Tapper. Yeah. But I am, I just think it's really, really poor journalism.
Hunter's scrappy, and Binder looks like she's still on the payroll. These two are laying the groundwork for the big guy to drop his memoir. Binder says Joe still has his fastball.
I saw someone who was sharp, understood history, understood policy. I'm not saying he didn't age, but I'm saying he was there. He was like really.
It wasn't dementia.
No, no. It was somebody that cared about this country.
Hunter thinks Daddy would have won if it weren't for Clooney. And now he has an enemies list. And the Obama boys are right at the top.
Isn't it the same argument that the Pod Save America guys made, that David Axelrod made, that Jake Tapper made, that, go down the list of all of the guys that were saying that Joe Biden could never win. They were all the guys that said Joe Biden could never win in 2016. They're all the guys that said Joe Biden was out of the running and could not win in 2020.
Even Kamala's collateral damage. Hunter calls her a DEI hire and said, of course, the big guy knew it. So what?
The reason that he picked Kamala Harris is because of the fact that he believes in, and I certainly believe, the most powerful force within the Democratic Party is and always has been the African-American women. They're the heart and soul and the conscience of the Democratic Party. And that's why he thought it was so important to have and by the way, and she had an incredible resume and is perfectly capable of being president of the United States.
Kamala could be president. Even Binder was like, Hunter, are you back on that crack? She says, I never really believed Harris could win. Wow. Maybe Binder does have a brain. Democrats are 0-2 running women for president. One white, one black. Are they really going to run another woman?
I mean, this is something that a lot of Democrats are grappling with right now. Is they've nominated women 2 of the last 3 elections for the presidency, lost both. There are some who say, well, we can't do that again. The stakes are too high. But of course, that does fall into the same misogynistic trap.
Other countries have no problem electing women.
Well, Democrats have 2 hot governor races in New Jersey and Virginia, and they're running Mickey and Abby. And they're both in trouble, bigly. They both want boys changing in girls' locker rooms and serve up word salads more than Mamala. Once again, the cross-legged Messiah has to try to save the ladies. They're going to stuff Barry in a jet from Honolulu and make him fly east to lecture the brothers again. And he's already complaining.
I thought I was going to be able to remove myself more from being out there in public and was going to be able to concentrate on what I really wanted to do, which was coach the next generation of leadership.
Barry's not just bailing out Democrats in the midterms. He's looking ahead to 28. Obama knows they can't run another woman, so he's choosing the next closest thing.
Someone that gets it and gets things done. It's my honor to introduce President Barack Obama.
Thanks, Kevin. And thank you, everybody who is not just on this call, but more importantly, doing the work. And good job, Governor Newsom, for the outstanding work that you've done and the leadership you've shown.
Newsom's the new it girl. The Obamas and the Clintons are both on board. He's the chosen one. But Gavin better have an answer for trans. Until they figure that out, they're toast. There's one Democrat who thinks they have an answer.
You're Hunter Biden running for president, and they're attacking you about this they them.
How do you respond to that?
No, I mean, look, I think the way that I respond to it is say, shut the up. Like, that's not our problem. If you're really that concerned about it, then go talk to your priest, go talk to your therapist.
Hi, kid. Actor Jeff Daniels also weighed in.
And by the way, do we really have to treat people like that? You know, the meme that he had where he was flying with the crown and the, you know, spewing excrement all over the people down below.
The country, America.
Yeah, he tried it. Would Lincoln have done that?
No, Lincoln didn't have the internet. And maybe it's me. I don't think we need any more actors weighing in on Lincoln. Because, one shot him. But talk about breathtaking analysis. Lincoln wouldn't do AI memes. What's next? George Washington would never own a Tesla? Wow, that's amazing. Then there's the Times accusing Trump of using AI as propaganda. Propaganda. For whom exactly? Fans of being pooped on? That would play right into Biden's nurses. But all this outrage is just a press gimmick where they pretend one ephemeral topic is the only thing happening right now. It's like a real estate agent showing you a delightful 3-bedroom cottage and leaving out the part about the deviant who lived there before. The renovation is just one of many things Trump's doing. Well, he's kept almost every promise he campaigned on. Gas prices are at their lowest in years. The only MS-13 gang members you'll find are in hiding in Chris Van Hollen's attic. And the National Guard has been able to make Los Angeles safe for Hollywood's pedophiles. Someone applauded. And Trump's not the first president to make changes to the White House. Nixon added a bowling alley, Eisenhower a putting green, and Clinton a stripper pole. Never ends. All Biden added was a bedpan. So this isn't anything new. They're miserable because everything they fought against is working, and they can't find anything real to be mad about. Trump fixed the problems, so they got to invent new ones. But in trying times, Trump outrage still pays the bills. If there's no Russiagate, how will Brian Stelter buy new pallets of Twinkies? All their attacks have failed. So they fight him on things that are popular and fun, something their party isn't. They're corrupt, miserable, and now condemned. True, since Trump came into office, this is the best episode of Flip This House ever. Let's welcome... During his last show, even the chairs walked out. Comedian Joe Mackey. She's sharp and outspoken and leaves liberals broken. Host of Emily Saves America, Emily Wilson. She puts therapists into therapy. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor Kat Tipp. And his fans sent him nudes via Pony Express. Former NWA World Champion, host of the Planet Towers podcast, Tyrus. Joe, first, congratulations on your new job at H&R Block.
Thank you, Greg.
Are you behind the counter, behind the glass, or are you doing one-on-one with clients?
I'm working with your tax returns right now, and there were some discrepancies. Apparently, you listed yourself as 5'7".
Thank you for booing it. There's so much, Joe, here, and I'm sure you already have some funny things to say, but I just noticed for the first time that the historian Doug Brinkley, said that what Trump was doing was unprecedented. A historian, there's like Google. You can get the whole list of things that have been done to the White House.
Anyone can say they're a historian, just like anyone can say they're a comedian, Greg, or a male model. But to me, things aren't going well for the Democrats. They're playing defense in blue states, and they're bringing up renovation projects at the White House. I don't think you could take a panel of swing voters and ask them if they're concerned about a new ballroom being put in the White House, they'd probably be like, I just got stabbed. And they're like, well, what if I told you the floors were Formica? You know, it makes very little difference. It could backfire because Trump might gain popularity among fans of ballroom dancing, which heavily Democratic. And on the meme issue, I think there's a lack of self-awareness here among the Democrats, because you've got Democrats at No Kings protests holding up signs that say 86-47, and those results can be tragic from that message. Trump's dropping poop out of an F-18 is not going to inspire any conservative to get a fighter jet to drop poop on liberals. Their biggest worry about getting poop on them is a vacation in California.
You're right. By the way, if that meme inspired somebody to get in a jet to poop on protesters, we would actually not arrest that person, because that takes a lot of work. It would be really inspiring. Emily, I love watching these new memes, and we have to put warning, not real, on them. And it's like, I think that is for Democrats, right? Because they take them so seriously.
I don't think that's good for society if we have Trump and a fighter jet dropping feces on people and we have to tell them, by the way, guys, this is AI generated and this is a joke. And I'm like, does that mean that their voter base might actually believe this? Yeah. And they think that this is a danger to democracy, as is everything else that, they say every day?
No, it's crazy. Are you as upset about the White House as if they are? I mean, the renovations?
I'm not going to lie. I saw it and immediately I kind of was like, whoa. Is this are these our taxpayer dollars? And then as soon as I saw it wasn't, I was like, I absolutely do not care.
Yep. Yeah.
Privately funded? Great. Google search. I Googled it.
By the way, Kat, let's be honest. The White House is not attractive. People think it is, but it is real. It's like I've seen better looking houses on that show about houses.
Clever.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. That's why you're sitting over there.
Exactly.
Why he's in the big chair.
Well, let me post this. It's like we see all this work on the White House, and he's building a ballroom, but doesn't it just go to show you that it takes two to tango?
There you go. Oh, man. Come on.
You know what? Gutfeld keeps it up. He's going to be dancing with the stars.
Yeah. There you go. You got it. So,
wow.
Look, I personally don't care. I also don't care if people care. I think it's fine. I think it's fine if people are like, I don't like that. But what bothers me is this particular brand of extremely online liberal, where it's not just that they're complaining about it, they're doing it in such a condescending way. Whereas if you don't care, it's because you just don't understand the history. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, no, actually, Sharon, it's just that I have too much going on in my life to give even a whisper of a about this.
Yeah.
Like, you can just be like, oh, I don't like this, but to be like, well, it's because I'm so much better than you, that I am so much smarter, that I understand that you just don't get why you shouldn't like it. It's like, go outside.
Yeah.
Go hug your kid. Probably hasn't seen you in a while. Like, I can't.
By the way, Whisper of a is the title of Shannon and Bream's new book.
But you have to just of the Bible speak.
Yes. Whisper of a the story of a tiny little piece of feces who gets lost in the sewer and finds his way home by following a stranded condom. Tyrus, save me.
This is why we don't get the Emmy. I'm curious about it.
You ballroom dance.
Yes, I do. I got footwork. I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
But this is upsetting. I am upset about this. The more I think about it, the more furious I get about it, because it's not what the president promised in our meeting.
Yeah.
He said he was going to make a sports bar for the fellas. It was going to have all the newest screens, and he was going to let us little machines where we could fly drones out of other countries and blow stuff up. And he folded like a lawn chair because his wife wanted a ballroom. He didn't tell any of us, and we all have to act like we like it. This is what happens. He had all these cool plans. He was going to have a little detention center with a moat for all the liberals that we were going to kidnap. Now we can't kidnap them. He promised us that we have sharks with freaking laser beams on their head to scare them. Now where are we going to put the view? We don't have the underground moats anymore, Donald. What are we doing here? Because you want a ballroom dance. This is what happens when guys listen to their wives. It's an outrage. And I'm with Hillary Clinton on this. She knows a home wrecker when she sees one.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.